Hello everybody, it's Pigifying, and Merry Christmas. It's finally that day and that time of the year where everyone gives gifts. So I thought, what better than to give a gift in Minecraft? And don't mind this little pigeon man that ran up to me, he was only bothering me for just a moment. I figured this year, I would give someone the gift of fruitcake. To do that in Minecraft, I'll need to make a cake and find some sort of fruit out in nature. The fruitcake is a common trope to give to people you don't really like around Christmas time, but I'm gonna flip it on its head this year, and I'm gonna go out on a journey to gather all the ingredients I need to home make a fruitcake. So off I went searching far and wide, looking for the resources I need to make somebody a fruitcake. I needed a chicken for an egg, I needed to find some iron to make some buckets so I could milk some cows, I needed to find some sugar cane, and last but not least, I needed to find some wheat. So I finally found a chicken. The chicken appeared to be the easiest of the resources to find, or at least so I thought. All I needed was this chicken to lay an egg, and I waited and waited around. I waited until creepers pulled up on me. I waited until not just one, but two creepers pulled up on me. And I had to play the dancing charade game in order to get these two to kill each other and finally wait for my egg. Come on. Fucking lay this egg already. Come on! Bruh. My only option at this point was to wait. So that I did. I just waited. I waited around. I followed this motherfucker, this motherfucking clucker. I started feeding him seeds to appease this little man, just to make sure he could lay an egg. Well, I guess it would be a female if it could lay an egg, but that's besides the point at this point. See how I got body blocked by that hitbox of that little fern there? I got screwed. I was trying to feed another seed. There I go. Just straight handling business. And after many seeds and many minutes of waiting.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
Nonetheless, I was determined to grab my egg. And that I did. And all seemed merry and bright for me in my journey for fruitcake. All until... yeah, I checked my inventory to make sure I had the egg, and the fucking skeleton got me. And there was no /back. Thankfully, I had keep inventory, so I wasn't fully fucked, but I thought I was for a moment there. By this point, I'd figured that I'd pretty much done the hard part of this whole thing, getting a chicken to lay an egg, which sometimes can be a task. But it proved to be quite more of a journey than I was expecting. So off I went again, scouring the land of this Minecraft server for the resources I need to gift someone the perfect gift of fruitcake. And the next thing I was searching for was sugarcane, which should be pretty easy to find with the resource pack I'm using, because it's a holiday pack and it has all the sugar canes looking like fucking candy canes. So you best believe if I cross paths with some stalks, I'm gonna find them. What I ended up finding first though was this weird army of snowmen, which were also, because of the resource pack, I guess peonies turned into snowmen, so I decided to steal an army of snowmen to maybe do something with later. As to not waste too much time, I decided to collect what I could of the snowmen, and then continue on my journey for the rest of the resources. All until I ran into an all too familiar arch-nemesis of mine. The fucking skeleton. He lit my ass up to 1 health, so I dipped out that John. I peeled out there real fast to not let myself be made a fool of twice by a skeleton. I love those little munch noises you get from the apples when you speed up the video. It's a very nice noise. Sorry, a little bit of meta editing, but ooh, isn't that nice? Anyways, you want to tell me what a zombie's doing with that little sapling there? Looking like the Statue of Liberty walking around with that thing. It was kind of around this point where I realized that, dang, I've looked everywhere and it seems as if there's just no natural spawns of sugar canes. Like, look at this whole beachside. Nothing. Just milked of its resources. All until I find somebody's personal farm. Aw, staring at me right in the face. Entire stalks by the rows. My mouth was just watering at the idea of getting some of those, so I decided to see when the player was last on. Too fucking recent. Can't grief their ass, so I decided I have to peel back out again and search the wilderness. Luckily, I didn't really have to go too far because there was 1 extra set of stalks with 3 pieces of sugarcane. Just enough for my 2 pieces I need for the cake. And wouldn't you believe it? There was a cow on the other side of this hill. Had to hit a pause for the apples, and I began my venture down to go find some iron, and wouldn't you believe it, digging straight down led me right into a vein. You think I'd planned this, that there was coal attached to that iron. But I assure you, absolutely zero of the suffering of this video is staged. And literally go back in chat and read what some motherfuckers are talking about. I cannot make up stuff that absolutely boring and asinine. So what you see me doing right now is struggling to find literally one more piece of iron because I have enough for everything but one bucket. I also needed to obtain a little bit more wood as well to make a crafting table again because I guess I fucking lost mine. At this point, I had already spent a good amount of time on Minecraft thinking that I was already going to have a cake by now and I'd just be searching for a little bit of fruit, like breaking down some leaves from a tree or something. But nope, here I am getting excited about a cow because it was impossible to find cows beforehand, and finding a chicken stuck in some fucking blocks, and then I'm smelting my iron, I'm making the first bucket, you know, I'm gonna go get some milk. And then I just played a little bit more of the waiting game, a common theme throughout this video, to get my second bucket of milk. And then my third bucket, at least I thought, until I realized, nope, I don't have enough. So I immediately go out on some dangerous shit, trying to find the quickest option for iron I can. I'm out here risking my oxygen bubbles, I'm stinging my toesies. I'd be absolutely appalled if after this amount of waiting, I didn't get the last little piece of iron that I needed to make the third bucket. Come on now. I thought I'd strike my luck again by just digging straight down, but unfortunately I only found a cave system, which just led me to more water. Given I didn't want to play too much of the dangerous game, I decided to just random teleport again and find some iron somewhere else. But as you can see, I'm really not having any luck here. I was struggling at this point. I'm just like, give me the fucking one piece I need. I need the one piece. Come on. And just as I run out of torches, there it is. Except I was on 4 HP and ended up almost dying right here and trying to evade it and ending up dead anyways. But the hunt don't stop, baby. We're back out there. We're back looking for some more ingots. So we go down, and keep fucking looking for some shit. That was not cheats I was turning on. That was me changing some settings. But I finally found some naturally. There they are. Beautiful, right? And a creeper trying to ruin my shit, but I teleported out of there real quick. Crafted me a crafting table, got myself another furnace, decided to throw some random ass wood that I had lying around in, and then got my last piece for the third bucket. Thank goodness. Now to find a cow. But where do you find a cow when there is none around? At least I just had one, but unfortunately since I teleported away and I can't slash back to get back there, I have to go find another one. I found a sheep, which sounded a lot like a cow with the way it was stomping around, but unfortunately not. And just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, the witch wanted smoke with me. They chased me down, they threw the poison bottle, and I got downed by a skeleton yet again. And at this point, my morale is dropping lower than ever for the whole video, and I find a pig. Perfect boost to get me right back into the game. So we're back on. I go into someone's house, loiter for just a moment, get a run-in with a little baby zombie that I ended up running on the trees to evade, but he ran my ass down to suicide. Not in real life though, because I just bagged my third bucket of milk for the crafting recipe. All I need is wheat at this point, and you can see I saw a piece or two up there, but I figured it was so close to that claim that I probably couldn't even obtain any of it, so I just kept going forward because I was like, well come on, wheat's so easy to get, right? It's at villages everywhere. You can just grow it on dirt. And I keep dying for no reason, don't pay attention to that. But the goal is wheat. You think it'd be so easy, right? But look at this long ass duration I'm going. Village number 1. Fucking nothing. Had to loiter real quick. Village number 2. I couldn't even examine because of a fucking skeleton. And after many minutes of searching, I found yet another person's random build where they dug out a chunk and have wheat growing, but I can't get access to it, so I gotta keep looking. And you can see here I'm sort of frustrated, just grabbing as many seeds as I can, plotting on maybe my own farming endeavors. And that's just what I do. I collect all the seeds I'll need to be able to have a good spread of RNG for the growth rates. And just in case I hadn't been mocked enough in this video, I find yet another indestructible piece of wheat. How phenomenal. So I craft a hoe instead of finding one on the corner, and I decide to make myself a little bit of a pseudo farming setup. So I set out a couple strips of dirt here, tilled them, and decided to plant some of the wheat seeds in hopes that perhaps I could get a faster obtaining of wheat at this point, because I'd been searching for far too long. And as you could probably tell by that timer appearing there, this took some time. Keep in mind, this was before I went to work for the day, and I actually ran this up to the very last fucking minute that I could go without getting fired for clocking in too late. But as you can see, the time's gonna climb up here pretty quickly. At this point, I'm desperate for that last piece of wheat to reach its final stage so that I can finally harvest it and make this fucking cake. Though sadly, I did need to leave for work, so I had to continue this post-work. And we were back. 2 more waiting. Of course, yes, I had to wait even more because the chunks that my wheat was in weren't loaded, I guess, but I had to wait. Wait, and wait some more. And this is your late video reminder that my whole goal here is to make a fruitcake, and I've barely even made the cake so far. And now. Talking, finally. Oh my gosh. Full workday later. But bitch, I had 3 wheat. There was no time for bitching and moaning. I had to go and make myself the cake. Finally. 3 wheat, 3 milk, 2 sugar, 1 egg, 1 cake. Beautiful. Last thing I need is just a naturally obtained fruit. So I ended up searching around, found a random armadillo hanging around. I had a quick bite to eat, and I teleported to a new biome. This is where I found one of those little fucking snow foxes that started running around. So I started following his ass around. He had something in his mouth, so I was curious. So I kind of got distracted. I ran off after his ass. And you can see we covered a pretty good distance in this chase here. It was not a small little lap around the pool here. And I just wanted to see what it had in its mouth because with the resource pack I have, it was a weird looking item. And I picked up that emerald, that wasn't it, but it was the little sapling that I just picked up. It wasn't anything too crazy. I saw a wolf starting chasing after it, so I decided this was my time to dip. And as I traveled from biome to biome, I ended up finally finding just what I needed. An oak tree, so that I could just break it down and grab some of the leaves. And you might be asking yourself, why don't I use the 10 in my hotbar? Well, those are named escargot for some reason, so they don't count. But that's a natural apple, baby. Now the last thing I need is to give away my fruitcake. So I just ask. And absolutely no one cared. So I waited and waited and waited some more, waited through the rain. I waited and waited for the next person to join the server. You can see I have it in the chat there. I'm ready. But no one ever came. Only people left. Of course, just my luck for this video. However, also, to keep the theme of this video, just when I thought I was gonna give up hope and ask again, I found my candidate. I sent them a teleport request and they accepted immediately.
I have a gift for you right here.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Nardwar. As you can see, they're pretty shocked to see that I'm a creeper Santa. And I actually was too. I had to check my inventory because at this point it had been so long in the freaking video, I'd forgotten that was even my skin. As you can see, I was almost claiming to be the Santa until I stopped myself very cautiously there. I would never claim such a thing. So I went on and I got it over with handing over the fruitcake. Fruit and cake. Fruitcake. I fucking did it. I finally gave them fruitcake. I gave somebody a fruitcake. Finally. Now this video can end. And they tried to give me some iron as some sort of transaction, but you know what? I thanked them. Merry Christmas.